everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den, and this week I'm going to show you how I made this project. Now, I've seen this around quite a few times, but I changed the measurements a little bit because I thought it was just too huge, and it's still big enough. It still is a 4 by 4 inch box when it's finished. So this is my belly band. This is the box, and they are 2 inches by 2 inches. Sorry, let's put it that way. 2 inches by 2 inches by 4 inches across. I put a finger hole in there, and they are 4 little boxes that roll together. Let me pop that one up together to form one big box, and then I'll put a couple of Velcro strips on there to finish it off. What a great idea for a present for somebody, and it fits into this little bit tight belly band. If you wanted to, that is. Now, you don't have to make the belly band, you can leave it as is without it, but I have made the belly band, and that's the box. So I haven't decorated it because I actually don't know what or who I'm going to give this to. So I haven't decorated it with like a happy birthday or whatever as yet. So that's what we're going to make. Now, I've actually done part of it because there's a lot of bits and pieces to do. So I've actually done 2 of the boxes and put them together so that they're done, and we will go through the rest of it together. So I will bring in all my bits and pieces and show you what I've done. Now, I've done one here as well. So you're going to need 4 pieces of card. Now, it's quite card hungry, unfortunately. So I'm going to wedge you out a little bit. I think you're a little bit too close. There we go. That's a bit better. 4 pieces of card that measure 10 5/8 by 8 inches. 8 inches is just that 1/4 of an inch off of A4. But if you're doing this out of letter paper in the US, it will come out of it beautifully. So that's why I changed the measurements so it will fit on both pieces. So you'll need 4 pieces of card. You will need another piece of card, whoops, get out of there you, that measures 4 inches by 4 inches. And then for the belly band, you're going to need 2 pieces of card that measure 4 inches by 8.5 inches. So I've got my little bit on the end there. You're going to need 20 pieces, 20, that's correct, 20, that measure 3 3/4 by 1 3/4 inches. And you're going to need 8 pieces that measure 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. For your belly band, if you're going to make the belly band, this is an optional piece. You will need 4 pieces that measure 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I'm going to show you how to make the belly band as well, because of the fact that we are here to show you I am here to show you everything, but it is optional. Now, I've already, as I say, I've done 2, and I've pre-done one here so that I can show you. You can stop it and have a look how it goes where we put all the pieces. So let me show you what we need to do. We need to bring in our scoreboard, and we're going to score this on the long side with our small end of our ball. So we're going to score this at 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, 8 inches, and 10 inches. We're going to turn it onto the short side, and we're going to score this at 2 inches and 6 inches. Okay, so that's all the scoring we're going to do on this piece, and you're going to do that on all 4 pieces. So all 4 pieces need to be scored exactly the same, which is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2 and 6. With our short end, this 5/8 of an inch edge, on the right hand side, I am going to, when I find my scissors, there they are, going to cut off this small piece here, this rectangular piece, up to the first line, and then just a tiny wedge. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So just that tiny wedge, and we're going to cut that piece off like so. Alright. Then we're going to cut up to this first line on there, at the next one, the next one, and the last one on this side, and then we're going to cut this one right off on the end. So we cut that square off. So we've got all of these loose. We're going to turn this around and we're going to do exactly the same again. So we're going to cut each one of these squares up to the next score line. And cut this end one off. So our card will look like so at the present time. Okay, so now we're going to do, got this one here and the second one in from this small end. So let's put the small end back on the right hand side. So this second one in, we're going to fold that under, and we're going to fold the other side second one in as well, like so. Now it's up to you whether you want to do it like I'm doing it or whether you want to just trim them off. That is entirely up to you. But I'm doing it that way so that it's actually nice and neat. So I'm going to bring this in here, and now I'm going to pop this line here. I put the 1 inch mark on my trimmer, making sure it's nice and even all the way down. And I'm going to trim these other ones off. So we've got cut off the 3, but not the one in the middle. And we're going to turn this over, and I'm going to do the same thing again. So I'm going to bring this up to that 1 inch line, and then I'm going to trim them off as well. Now the reason I did it that way is because then they're all nice and even, but they're inside the box, and I will leave it entirely up to you whether or not you do that. So our card's now going to look like this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a bit of notching. So we're going to start with this end with the small bit, and we're going to do a really big notch here, about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch in, up like so. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Okay. If we get them done first, you know that you haven't messed up, and I've done that before too. So we've done that. Now we're just going to wedge all of these other ones just like we would normally. Not the big square one in the middle. Oops. Okay, and then we're going to do the same again on this side. We're just not wedging this large one, so we can move him out of the way so we don't wedge him in, and we're going to wedge these 2 bits in, and that piece. So our piece of card now looks like this. Let me turn it this way around. You can see it a lot better. So we now have our 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 score lines. If we turn it this way, we have our 2 and our 6 score lines. These bits are the 2 by 2, and these bits are 2 by 1. Alright, so I'm going to put my hole in here after I've put this piece of designer series paper on it. So I've got a 1/2 inch hole punch. So we're going to put our designer paper on those 2, and that should leave me with 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces left, and those 2 squares like so. Now for me, I just found it easier to have a non-directional paper because of the fact that the way it is, it's, you know, if you've got a non-directional paper, it doesn't matter how things are. So we're going to pop these on, and I'm going to start at this end because I want this chain to be drier than when I cut out my hole. So, and we can't put layers on this, like, you know, like 2 layers, because it will make it too thick and it won't roll together nicely. It's one of those projects where you really don't want to have, oh, that hurt, extra bulk. My fingernail bent backwards then. I have enough trouble with them, they're always breaking off anyway. Oops, stand still. Now you may notice I haven't actually folded and burnished this yet, and I find it easy to do this after I've done this with these boxes. So it's entirely up to you. I just think it sits flatter while I'm getting it all ready. Okay, so we've got our larger pieces on, so that's the first 2, this one, the next 2, and the 2 long ones. Alright, so now I'm going to actually fold and burnish just this end one here, and I want to burnish that down really, really hard because I'm going to bring in my 1/2 inch circle punch, and I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to bring it in so that I've got about half of it in there. Even on both sides, you can sit there and measure it with your ruler if you wish. You can go along here and go, that's 4 inches, I'll mark that at the 2 inch mark. And then make sure that's in the middle of that piece. That's entirely up to you, or you can just eyeball it. Now that bit went on the floor. So the hole is in the centre of that. Okay, so now we can go and fold and burnish. Oh, there's the other bit. All of these score lines, and I just find it easier to do this way because I've not got a lot of bulk running around my fingers while I'm trying to get those done and the holes punched. Now you want this larger one so that it will go inside the box, otherwise it's going to be a little bit harder to get that box inside each other. Okay, so once we've done that, we can open that up, and I'm going to do this twice so you can see it. We're going to turn this one back and fold that back the opposite way, as well as the top one. Now the whole idea of that is it just makes it easier to keep them out of the way, and we know that we don't want to glue this one down. So we're going to bring this tab in, the next one, next to the large tab. I'm going to bring the tab in, and we're going to glue it into place, and then we can bring that up, and well, I actually find it easier to go this way because you're going to get a nice square even on that side. So I'm going to do that one, and I'll turn it around and do this one the same way. So I'm going to put my glue on my tab, bring that around so that it's flush with the bottom of the table. That way it's flush on this side too. Okay, and then I'm going to do this one, and we'll redo this one so you can see this. So we're going to pop this one in here. I'm going to put glue on that one and on this tab because we need to bring them inside the box. That's why it's good to tuck the other bit back, making sure that you get your box nice and square. The squarer it is, the easier it's going to sit together. So there's our box done. Then we can close that one in and down in there like so. So I'll do that one more time. Let's pop that one out of the way. We've got the other one here. This has been folded back now the opposite way. We're going to turn this around. We don't want these ones, we want the next ones in. We're going to pop glue onto this tab. And we're going to bring that around there. It's flush with the bottom of the table then. You'll see that it's nice and flush on that edge. Making sure that's down nice and tightly. Then we'll do the next one on this side. Same thing, bring that one around, bring that piece up, and you can see that again, nice and flush on that edge. Okay. Then we're going to bring these two in, and we're going to pop glue on both of those at the same time, for the simple reason that it's easier than trying to poke one in afterwards. And we're going to bring that inside, and we're going to make sure that's nice and flush along that edge there. You can feel if it's flush. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So we've got this nice and flush on that side there. Okay, so once that's nice and flush, and you know that it's nice and flush, we can then close this box up and bring that into there. So we have two boxes here, and two I've already done. So what you need to do is, our boxes are going to look like steps as we go. We're going to glue these together like so. So we have this inside flap. We've got a piece on that side. So on this side you have the four pieces, but on the inside where the boxes go together, we've got this piece here, the same as we have here. On the bottom of the box there isn't any designer series paper. That is going to glue onto that. So we're going to pop glue onto the bottom of this piece, this box. And we want to make sure that we get a nice lot of glue on here, because they're going to glue together tightly. And we're going to lay this down like so, and this box with this flap on the left hand side, pop this box close to the other one, then turn it over and make sure that it's flush on these three sides. Once you've done that, we can pop it down nice and tightly, and we have another box together. We just give that a swish around on the table. It will make sure that it's nice and flush. And as you can see, it's coming together like a nice little box. Oops, sorry, a nice little box. Okay, so we're going to do that one more time. We have our piece here, which is our inside bit. Let me put that so that that doesn't slide in. That's better. Okay. Our bottom of our box is going to glue to the inside of our last box. So we're going to pop glue onto the bottom of the box. I just find it easy to put it on the bottom of the box. If you want to put it on the tab, that's fine, but I find it easier to put it on to the bottom of the box. That way I know that when that goes there, that is going to go there with the tab, next tab sticking out on the left hand side here. Okay, happy with that? Make sure that it's flush on the three sides. We don't want it to be sitting like off center or anything like that. So we have our four boxes now all stuck together, and you will see when they are that all of the hole marks for your finger hole are all in the same spot, and we have one flap left. So what we need to do now is we need to bring our box over like so, and this one is going to be there. So what we're going to do next, we're going to move that box out of the way. We're going to bring in our scoreboard again, and on our 4" by 4" piece of card, we're going to score that on the long side, well, on the long side, they're all the same side, on one of the sides at the 2" mark. Oops. Okay, oh, itchy nose. going to then fold this over, making sure that it's nice and even on all sides, and give that a burnish. And we're going to glue that to the bottom of this box here. So we got two flaps at the top up here together. So we're going to glue that onto there, so that we have two flaps the same, both facing the same way. So making sure that this one is nice and flush on all four sides this time, like so. Once we were happy with that, that's our box going together like so. And we think, oh, hang on, we don't have any paper on these. Well, that's where our last four pieces of designer series paper come in. So we're going to pop our designer series paper on these four pieces. To finish our box. We can't do this any other way. These bits have to be done at this stage. One on there, one on this piece here. One on this section here. That's why it's nice to have a non-directional paper, because everything is all haphazardly shaped when it's going up and down like this. And one on this other one. Okay, so let's pop that on there. Let me pop the pin in my glue for a minute. Oh, come on, get in there. I can't even see it. There we go. So that's our box with our top. So it rolls up like so. So what we can do now is we can just decorate it from here, which I'm going to pop a couple of Velcro dots on mine. So I will pop, let's cut these in half. Oh, excuse me, I itchy nose today. So I'm going to pop one on this side about here, and then what have I got on the top there? Make sure I've got them the same way around. And this one, I can measure this in. I can go there, 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 and it goes on to that one. In this case, then I will take the top off of my Velcro, making sure they're still lined up nicely. There we go. Bring my box around, and then I can line that up at the top and the sides, and then squish them together. So that's all together like that. And then I have a ribbon here that I'm going to put on the front of mine as well. So I'm going to do that now, so that it's done. I haven't done the rest of the decorating, because as I say, I'm not sure who's going to get these boxes yet. So let's wait and see if I decide to do one before the video goes live. So I'm going to pop my ribbon on here, like so. And that can be it. That can be your box if you want. So that is the main part of the box. But I like the belly band around mine. So let's pop my box out of the way, and we're going to bring in our belly band piece. So I've got two pieces of card here, and this measures 4 inches by 8.5 inches. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. I'm going to bring in my trimmer board, because of where I want to score these. So I want to score this on the long side at 4 1/16, or just over that. Where's my scoring tool? Still in my board. Okay, so 4 1/16. So let's find that. I find it easy to do it through there. I can't go wrong. And then at 8 1/8. 8 1/8. Like so. Then we're going to fold and burnish these pieces over. Looking for my tool there, and there it is. Okay. Making sure again that they are nice and square. Alright. So I'm now going to turn them so that my edges, which I'm going to just notch that one, because I've done the other one. So you want to do that on both pieces. Now I've done one, so I've done the other one. We're going to glue this together along this line. Making sure that we don't overlap, because we are a fairly tight band anyway, so we don't want to overlap that. And that will dry clear, so we're right. Once we've done that, we're going to turn this over and we're going to glue this one together as well. Bringing this one over, making sure that it doesn't overlap. Oops, we went a bit wonky that one, didn't we? Okay, and we can see that that's nice and flush top and bottom, which is what we want. And we're going to glue our 4 pieces of designer paper onto this belly band. Now, as I say, I've seen this done quite a few times from some European people, and some of them I couldn't even understand the language they were speaking in. I think they were German or Dutch, but I got the gist, and I changed the measurements because they all had them really huge, even bigger than this, and that meant you're using 12 by 12 card. And I don't buy 12 by 12 card. I don't find I need it. So I actually didn't want to do that. So I'm going to pop my pin in my bottle because I've actually finished the card that wise. Once that's dry, we're going to just bring that back up. Oops, up. And this will slide in here very, very snugly. Just making sure that when you come to the next layer that it goes in, because that is where, if you haven't got them square, you will have problems. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? Lovely box. I actually love it. And it is still a fairly large box. It's 4 inches square overall. So it's a really lovely box. A lovely idea. Great for decorating for whoever. I think I might end up giving this one to my dad for his 90th birthday. So I'm not sure. We'll just wait and see if I decorate it before I put the video up, and before I do the written tutorial. I will show you the decorated version. And if you've enjoyed this project and you would like the written tutorial for this project, please head over to Diane for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. I'm just going to pull them back in. Tutorials. You'll find the written tutorial there. You'll find the link down below, and it goes live the same day as the YouTube video. If you've enjoyed today's video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe so I can keep bringing you more and more things that I enjoy doing. And I hope you enjoy them too. And if you would like to become a team member for me with Stamping Up, just give me a hoy, and if you live in Australia, I can help you with that. And I would love you to join my team. So I will see you again next time. Bye for now.